The code of chivalry and the Knights Templar are both intertwined with medieval ideals of honor, duty, and service. While the code of chivalry was a broader set of ethical principles guiding the behavior of knights, the Knights Templar were a specific military order whose members adhered to a version of this code, shaped by their religious and military roles. Here's a breakdown of both concepts. The Code of Chivalry was a moral and ethical system governing knights, primarily in medieval Europe. It originated during the early Middle Ages and evolved into a set of rules that governed not only martial conduct but also social interactions, honor, and loyalty. The code was not always formally written down, but it became well established over time and was passed down through generations of knights. Key aspects of the Code of Chivalry. 1. Honor and loyalty. A knight's word was his bond. Loyalty to one's lord, fellow knights, and country was paramount. Knights also swore to be honorable in their dealings, whether in battle or peace. 2. Bravery in battle. A knight was expected to be courageous in combat, defending his lord's lands, the Christian faith, and the weak and defenseless. 3. Protection of the weak and defenseless. This was one of the most noble aspects of chivalry. Knights were expected to protect women, children, the elderly, and anyone who could not defend themselves. 4. Courtesy and respect for women. While often romanticized, the chivalric ideal included treating women with respect, offering them protection, and sometimes pursuing noble or courtly love. 5. Defense of the faith, Christianity. Knights were often called upon to defend the Christian faith, especially during the Crusades. The defense of Christendom was a central tenet of many knightly orders. 6. Justice and fairness. A knight was expected to uphold justice, serving as a protector of the law and administering it fairly. 7. Skill in arms and warfare. Knights were also expected to be highly trained in martial arts, swordsmanship, horsemanship, and military tactics. The knight's role was as a professional soldier who could be relied upon in battle. The Knights Templar were a military order founded in the early 12th century during the Crusades, specifically around 1119 AD in the Kingdom of Jerusalem. Initially established to protect Christian pilgrims traveling to the Holy Land, the Templars grew into a powerful and wealthy military order, and their role extended beyond mere protection to include military engagement, financial services, and the establishment of a network of strongholds across Europe and the Levant. Key elements of the Knights Templar. First, let's talk about their religious commitment. The Templars were both warrior monks and a religious order under the rule of the Catholic Church. Their vows of poverty, chastity, and obedience were central to their identity, and they combined religious devotion with military service. They were committed to the defense of Christianity, particularly in the Holy Land. Next, their military role. The Templars became one of the most effective and disciplined military forces in Europe. They participated in numerous battles during the Crusades, including famous sieges such as the Siege of Jerusalem in 1099 and the defense of the Crusader states in the Holy Land. Then, there's their monastic life. Despite their military role, Templars were also monks. They lived according to a strict rule that combined monastic devotion with a martial lifestyle. Their day was divided between prayer, study, and military training. Moving on to their financial power and banking. The Templars were known for their financial acumen. They developed an early banking system, offering financial services to pilgrims and monarchs. This gave them significant wealth and influence, especially in Europe. Another key element is their symbolism and rituals. The Templars were known for their distinctive white mantles adorned with a red cross. Their symbols and rituals have become the subject of myth and legend, especially after their disbandment in the early 14th century. And lastly, their code of conduct. The Templars adhered to a version of the Code of Chivalry, with additional emphasis on religious observance and military discipline. Their order had strict rules governing behavior, such as silence during meals, communal living, and a ban on personal wealth. They were also required to be pious and loyal to their Christian faith, committing themselves to the defense of Christendom. The Templars' version of the Code of Chivalry. While the Code of Chivalry was generally focused on the conduct of knights in battle and society, the Knights Templars Code was more specific to their unique position as both soldiers and monks. It combined elements of the broader chivalric code with the Templars' particular religious vows and responsibilities. Their vows of poverty, chastity, and obedience were crucial. Templars were expected to live humble lives, dedicating themselves entirely to the service of God and the protection of the Christian faith. Fighting for Christendom was their primary mission. The Templars' primary mission was to defend the Christian faith, especially in the Holy Land. They took part in military campaigns against Muslim forces and defended Christian territories. Brotherhood and unity were also fundamental. Templars were expected to maintain strong bonds of brotherhood. Their communal lifestyle emphasized mutual support, loyalty, and camaraderie among members. And finally, their adherence to religious rules. Their daily life was structured around prayer and religious observance, and they followed the rule of the Templars, which governed everything from their behavior in battle to how they lived in their fortresses. Decline of the Templars. The Knights Templar were disbanded in 1312 by Pope Clement V under pressure from King Philip IV of France, who owed them large sums of money and saw their wealth and power as a threat. The final dissolution of the order was accompanied by charges of heresy, and many Templars were arrested, tortured, and executed. This event, known as the Trial of the Templars, has become the stuff of legend, leading to numerous conspiracy theories about the true nature of the order and its supposed secret knowledge. Legacy of Chivalry and the Templars. The legacy of chivalry and the Knights Templar has endured in literature, art, and popular culture. The romantic ideal of chivalric knights upholding honor, defending the weak, and adhering to a noble code of conduct has inspired countless stories, including the Arthurian legends and modern depictions of medieval knights. The Templars in particular have been the subject of intrigue, with their secretive nature and dramatic downfall fueling myths about hidden treasures, secret societies, and ancient wisdom. Despite their fall, the code of chivalry and the ideals of the Knights Templar continue to influence our concepts of honor, duty, and service in both historical and modern contexts.